Hi, kids. Nick DiPaolo. How you doing? I don't know how long I'm going to last today. Got a respiratory infection or some shit. Swallowing phlegm at an alarming rate. Happens usually about a week after I fly. It always happens. Apparently your sinuses get all like dried and shit, and if you don't keep them moist, they become a sponge for bacteria. So, that and me, I put the air conditioner on 60, and I have a fan blowing on me at night. I think a combination of the two would give you AIDS if you let it. But, my throat's like raw. I was at Reds last night in Carlstadt, New Jersey, which is in the shadows of Giant Stadium. It was actually a good gig. I mean, it was a bar/restaurant, but upstairs was a function room. And they set it up nice. I mean, it's not that hard to put on a good comedy show. And it was packed, and it was fun. I got to admit. Again, if the money's right, gigs like this allow comedians to, there's no pressure, right? I mean, you could throw out 5 new minutes at a time. You don't care if you bomb. Gives a shit. 8 alcoholics from Carlstadt, Jets and Giants fans don't like you. I mean, come on. But, and I did I think an hour and 10 minutes, and my voice was cracking at about the 38-minute mark. Yummy. Breaded clams. So, yeah, we'll see how long I last here. I'm going to try to bang through this quick. But it gives me that nice, sexy voice of somebody who has throat cancer, throat polyps. Hey, nice ass, baby. What the fuck's going on, kids? I don't know. I'm in kind of one of these moods, you know. Anyways, before we get to her, just reading the paper, New York City, the rest of the country has to be laughing at us. Although, because of the policies of the current administration, the rest of the country's turning into a third world shithole. The beautiful state of Maine now has, gang problems. And I was reading Fargo, North Dakota actually has all kinds of problems. Big headline, immigrant groups are battling it out on the streets of Fargo. Okay? What was once pristine land has just been shat upon. I don't know who it is. It's, like I said, it's bigger than left, right, but I don't know whose fucking plan it is to bring this country down to its knees, but it's working swimmingly, because every third world idiot looking for a place to fucking lay his head is being allowed every chance to sneak in here. They actually flying them in on planes now. You consider yourself a refugee or whatever. We can only hold you for 6 months. Then ICE has to let you go, and they're just settling everywhere. And it's just what Patrick Buchanan said about 20 years ago, and everybody laughed at him. We're going to become a nation of squabbling ethnicities that have nothing in common culturally, living side by side. Boy, if that wasn't right on the fucking money. But, idiots like Joy Behar laughed. Oh, I liked the speech when it was originally in German and all this shit. It's all coming to fruition. Thanks to fucking liberal douche fucks. Sure it is. Yeah. A manhunt is underway in Fargo, North Dakota after 2 separate groups of immigrants from unknown countries. Can you imagine we can't even say what country? Began waging what is described as a street war. Can you imagine this is in Fargo against each other early this week? Boy. 2 men, armed home invasion, Wednesday morning, Unbelievable. A group of 70 people gathered when an altercation of some sort ensued. This is just fucking priceless. Yeah, men affiliated with one immigrant group. How do they not know? Really? This is great reporting. You don't know where these people are from. Smashed out the window of a car with a crowbar. The same men vandalized another vehicle shortly. Whatever. Details are important. The bigger picture is important. How about this? So the interview guy, the police, according to Valley News, while police have acknowledged that 2 immigrant groups are involved, they said it's not relevant what country they hail from. See, that's just another sign that it's rotting from the inside out. It's not important. Even the cops, even the guys who we admire for being out there and risking their asses, but they've fallen victim to this politically correct horseshit. It's not relevant. No, you wouldn't want to trace back to where they came in from. It's not relevant. Fargo has a population of 110,000, has seen 4,000 refugees from 35 nations come into the city over the past decade. It's beautiful. Congratulations to the Bilderberg Group or whoever the fuck it is that's organizing the demise of this country, because it's going down just beautifully. In Fargo, in New York City, just fucking New York City is it's a cesspool now. If I was from another part of the country, I'd be laughing too. About living here. Because of, Comrade de Blasio's policies. This is the headline in the paper today. 53 shot, 8 slain in a week. I looked at it, I'm thinking, they must be talking about Ramadi or somewhere over there in the Middle East. No, this is New York City. Yeah. Gun violence raged across the city this past week. 13 people shot on Saturday alone. Between last Monday and noon Sunday, there were 44 shooting incidents. 44, folks. More than double the number for the same week last year. So how's that working out? No frisk. How's that working out? No longer stopping and frisking people. How's it working out for you? Murders are also up for the week. 8 people killed this year. In this week compared to 5 last year. It's a dangerous situation. It's unbelievable. Well, because stupid liberal fucking idiot policies. Yeah, that's their dream, to turn the country into a third world shithole. And it's happening so much faster than I predicted when I was in college. It really is. You got to give them an A for an execution. It's a Herculean effort on their part. The bloody 24-hour spree Saturday spanned 4 boroughs, sparing only Staten Island from the violence. That's how bad Staten Island is. Nobody even wants to kill anybody over there. That's where you dump the bodies once you kill somebody. There's plenty of landfill over there. Oh, my God. Anyways, yeah, that's just in New York City. Any city that's being run by liberals, whether it's Chicago or Los Angeles, they're all turned into shitholes. But we're supposed to ignore those facts. Listen to my voice. I sound like B. Arthur. She be dead. But look who runs New York City. Here's a story right on the same page, okay? City Council Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito joined hundreds of thousands of people celebrating the Puerto Rican Day Parade on Sunday while wearing a T-shirt in support of a convicted terrorist. Free Oscar Lopez Rivera now. That's what it says on a T-shirt. He was a Puerto Rican. He belonged to a group called FALN. They were a terrorist group back in the 70s. And he's doing 55 years in prison. They blew up police stations in New York, and they murdered like 4 people, and they did a bunch of shit in Chicago. Literally... a terrorist, and Bill Clinton back in the 90s actually offered him clemency if he would renounce political violence, and he said, fuck you, I'm staying in prison. You got to give him some props. At least he believes what he believes. But can you imagine, and this douchebag, this who's supposed to represent the city of New York, this Melissa Mark Viverito, another beautiful left-wing woman, by the way, got the face of a fucking Detroit Red Wing from the 60s. She wants to free him. Because I guess they both have, Hispanic blood in? Is that the connection? Can you imagine? She's the city council speaker. And she wants to free unrepentant terrorists. Just explain that to me, you fucks. Please. I don't mean you out there. I mean you people who... New York City deserves what it gets. I mean, they vote in these scumbags. It's hilarious. It's going right back to the way it was when I... thank God I don't live in the city anymore. I feel so much better up here. Geraldo and Patrice used to bust my balls. DiPaolo's moving up into Westchester, where it's all white people. Yeah, looks like a good move at this point. City's turning into it's going back to what it was when I first came down, when Dinkins was the mayor. You needed a ladder to climb over piles of garbage on the sidewalk, and there was riots. But that's how the lefties like it, I guess. I don't know. I'm not getting it. I just want to punch her right in her fucking face. Yeah. Oh, I'm burning up. I'm sweating. I got this like little lamp on my. Just the heat from the lamp is making me. My nose is dripping like a cocaine addict. Look at her. There's a picture of her in the New York Post.
I'm gonna fucking smash his fucking face in.
That's a her, but it looks like a he. Who knows these days? Yeah, so it's all going to pot. It's fun. I'll be getting off the planet right, like I said, right about the right time. I think. I'll be generous. I'll say I'll make it to 80. It's about 27 years. Yeah, maybe 85, depending. If I keep doing Sean T. And if I stay focused and I stay within it, I get a few more months out of it. It'll be time to get off the planet at that point. This country will be, a third world shithole, which is the goal of people like Obama and people who vote for Obama and fucking Hillary the pantsuit Clinton. Let's go to her. Let's segue to that dopey, fat Clydesdale ankle. Jesus, does she make me angry? Because she's the most arrogant of them all. She's the most arrogant. She makes fucking Obama look, like he's humble. Humble. Makes him look humble. We're humble, John. That's from a gaudy movie in the 80s on HBO. We're wops, John. They're trying to make me humble. Trying to make you humble, John. He's talking about the feds. I'm all over the place. Yes, I understand that. Yeah. So Hillary, she did her thing at Roosevelt Island here in New York City, and just seeing the size of the crowd made me sick to my stomach. There's that many dumb fucking people in the world still believing in this tub of cheese. Oh my God. Let's I got her speech here, and I haven't listened to it, so I'll listen to it with you for the first time, and we'll have fun picking on the pantsuit pig face. Just makes me my blood curdle just looking at her. See if I can find the goddamn. Oh, that was delicious. That was a beautiful clam. Let's listen to the fucking hack. I still say, by the way, I was on I was on Greg Gutfeld's new show. We didn't get into this, but I still say Jonah Goldberg was on, who's a very, very bright conservative writer, and I just saw in the green room before the show. I go, "Is she really going to be the nominee?" He goes, "Yeah, I think so." And everybody else is telling me that, and I still don't believe it. There's so many scandals and so much shit that they haven't even got to yet. When she starts to have to answer questions, although I don't know if the media is going to be complicit in this whole shit all the way. If she's going to be protected by the media, which I guess she is, maybe she'll never have to answer any of this shit. What a sad state of affairs, man. Let's listen to Pigface. Excuse me. Even her laugh is funny. It's forced. Ugh. Listen to those idiots. Fucking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you all. Thank you so very, very much.
Oh, God. She's just fucking.
It is wonderful to be here with all of you, to be in New York with my family, with so many friends, including so many New Yorkers who gave me the honor of serving them in the Senate for 8 years.
Which begs the question, what did you get done while you were in the Senate for the state of New York in 8 years? Clydesdale. Name some accomplishment. What did you get done? Oh, my God.
To be right across the water from the headquarters of the United Nations, where I represented our country many times.
What did you do?
To be here in this beautiful park, dedicated to Franklin Roosevelt's enduring vision of America.
Yes, entitlements as far as the eye can see. Somebody should have shot him to that cripple fuck.
The nation we want to be, and in a place with absolutely no ceilings.
The whole glass ceiling thing. If that is true, I used to do a bit about that, the whole glass ceiling thing. If there is truth to that, I wouldn't want to, if she was working, I wouldn't want to be working on the floor below Hillary. If there was a glass ceiling, looking up at that. It would be like me when I was a little kid holding the ladder for my dad as he cleaned the leaves out of the gutters in a pair of loose Bermuda shorts with no underwear. Just a giant pair of balls staring down at you. She's such a... Do you hear the warmth in her voice? Can you just feel the warmth and the sincerity? Thank you. Here in New York, where I worked over in that building and did absolutely nothing and fooled you fucks for 4 years. I'm a carpetbag thick ankle pig face. I'm trying to stop that. I won't stop.
Freedoms are a testament to our nation's unmatched aspirations and a reminder of our unfinished work at home and abroad.
Speaking of abroad, you abroad or are you a guy? Speaking of abroad, I saw your husband last night finger popping somebody at Nobu. Did you just hear the tone of her voice? How phony it is and shit. You can tell she's reading right off the.
And inspired presidents who followed. One is the man I served as Secretary of State, Barack Obama. And another is my husband, Bill Clinton. They were and are two Democrats guided by the
She just had to bring up her husband who fucking humiliated her and say, with pride that she served under him and Obama. That's not enough to make you lose. How do you feminists feel about that? Huh? She really thinks this is owed to her. Oh, my God. Stop!
And lasting prosperity must be built by all and shared by all. President Roosevelt called on every American to do his or her part, and every American answered. He said, "There's no mystery about what it takes to build a strong and prosperous America.
Listen to her like a robot.
Equality of opportunity, jobs for those who can work,
check mark, check mark.
Security for those who need it, the
check
ending
mark.
of special privilege for the few.
Oh, the ones you were hobnobbing with the night before the speech, you tub of cheese.
The preservation of civil liberties for all.
Oh, my God, I'm getting a headache from her politically correct laundry list of diarrhea.
And constantly rising standard of living.
Listen to the crowd. They're already waning.
That still sounds good to me.
That still sounds good to me.
It's America's basic bargain.
It's America's basic bargain.
You ought to be able to get ahead.
Listen how stiff she is.
When everybody
it's embarrassing.
does their part, America gets ahead too.
Why don't your husband gets ahead every time you step out of Chappaqua House.
Generations of families, including my own. It's what kept my grandfather going to work in the same Scranton lace mill every day. How
is she shameless? Talking about her, did she say her father? going to the same mill every day. Father or grandfather, I wasn't listening. I was getting too excited. In Scranton or whatever. Yeah. And you can relate to that, giving speeches at $500,000 a pop, $250,000 a pop. Yeah, you're one of them. You're just like the people that go to work in factories What a shameless do-bag. Oh, my God. I've never seen anything. They're shameless. God damn it. I'm not trying to do that.
Business printing drapery fabric in Chicago could provide us with a middle-class life, and it did. When President Clinton honored the bargain, we had the longest peacetime expansion of everyone else.
What the hell happened there?
What happened? Well, instead of a balanced budget with surpluses that could have
Instead of a balanced budget with a surplus, it's like she's reading to retarded kids. Is she holding up when she? I didn't see the speech. Was she holding it up and showing the pictures like they do in first grade? Your teacher reads to you, holds the book up, and goes like this from left to right. Oh my God! Inauthentic is not the word. I don't know how to stop that one, folks.
Republicans twice cut taxes for the wealthiest, borrowed money from other countries to pay for 2 wars, and family incomes dropped. You know where we ended up. Except it wasn't the end. As we have since our founding, Americans made a new beginning.
Yeah, we ended up going to Iraq, which you voted for. Skip over that, pig face.
Postponed home repairs. You figured out how to make it work. And now people are beginning to think about their future again. Going to college, starting a business, buying a house, finally being able to put away something for retirement. So we're standing again, but we all know we're not yet running the way America should. You see corporations making record profits with CEOs making record pay, but your paychecks have barely budged. While many of you are working multiple jobs to make ends
we should all be millionaires. We should all make the exact same money. We should all be multi-millionaires.
Of America's kindergarten
Everybody should be equal. That's how the real world works.
Paying a lower tax rate.
You're a...
So, you have to wonder. When does my hard work pay off?
At the gym?
When does my family get ahead? When?
About 5 o'clock after Monica gets out.
I say now.
She's the fucking worst. Oh, good, it's over. Thank God. God. Help me, Lordy. Did you hear how phony? She's reading. I mean, you got to give Obama one thing, one of the most eloquent speakers, and, he's got to have his teleprompter, but it still sounds natural, and it sounds like it's coming off the cuff. She sounds like she's in a remedial reading class. Oh, my God. Good luck with that, folks. Dems, good luck with that, if she's the nominee. And let me tell you, if the right can't beat her, forget it. This country deserves to continue on the path it's on. If you can't beat this stiff, I'm praying she is the nominee. Everybody else is saying, I actually like the socialist Bernie Sanders. He's like a tough Jew from Brooklyn. I kind of like him. He's got a little bit of a zing to him, I can't wait till she probably won't debate. She probably won't have to, right? Oh my God. Anyways, can you imagine? Ugh. And then we had Rachel Dolezal resign as the NAACP leader. The white girl out there in Spokane who's been passing herself off as black her whole life. Oh, my God.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm...
No, you're not. You're white, y'all. You're white, y'all. You got blue eyes and blonde hair. You're white, y'all.
I'm blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, yo.
'Cause I'm white and I'm fat.
Black and I'm black, yo. And
The cock I get it black.
And I'm black, yo. And I'm black.
Oh, my God. How funny is this story? To me, it's just a metaphor for this country. It's just perfect where we are. This is just perfect. It's just represents how confused we are as far as the issue of race. You know? That's how racist this country is. That a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl from Washington State just denied her whiteness and passed herself off as black. Yeah, that's how racist we are. Oh, you can't make this shit up. She's mentally ill, though. She's got a biological brother who she's been passing off as her son. You know, she's fucking cuckoo. And she fooled black people. You know, she fooled black people that work for the NAACP. Do you see her? She looks like a white chick in brown face. It looks like a tan. I can't believe people fell for this shit. It's amazing what people will do, though, huh? To get money out of the government and go to school where they want. She's a fucking phony. Just a lying. Oh, in the last, 5 years, she's found like 9 nooses in her office or at her house. She's totally full of shit. She makes Al Sharpton look straight. Just a race-hustling piece of crap. Self-hating white person. Just a product of, of all the political correctness and horseshit that's been brainwashing people when it comes to the issue of race. She's a mess. I guarantee you she stepped down today from her position as so I guarantee you in the next couple months she'll come out and said her dad molested her and shit. She's played every other victim card that you can play. It's crazy. I'd be pissed. There was a black woman from that chapter of the NAACP who wants nothing to do with her. Fucking priceless, isn't it? I guess her family adopted, her mom and dad adopted like four black kids. That's what she grew up with. I wonder if they had adopted like 4 Polish kids or 4 kids from the Ukraine, if she would have, pretended to be Polish or Ukrainian. Probably not, see, because that wouldn't have got her any benefits or any. But she's famous now. She's happy. Please know I will never stop fighting for human rights and will do everything in my power to help and assist, whether it means stepping up or stepping down or putting on blackface and tap dancing. What a douche. It's about justice. This is not me quitting. This is a continuum. No, you're quitting. See, she's fucked up. She's cuckoo. No, it's exactly what you do. You're quitting on the very people you're pretending to help. She was supposed to have like a press conference yesterday or this morning or something, and she just canceled it. Because she knows she's been caught in a lie and there's no way she can justify the horse shit she's been pulling for the last, I don't know how many years. Unbelievable. How confused are we as a friggin' country when it comes to the issue of race? Unfriggin' real. Woo. She's the president of the local chapter. She was elected about 6 months ago out there in Spokane. She also teaches African studies to college students. Yeah, no liberal shit going on college campuses. Just a white woman pretending she's black, teaching white kids why their fucking culture is dog shit. But other than that, it's pretty college campus right down the center. What a mess. What do you say we have about 10 minutes left as a nation? Let's talk about Reds last night. I already mentioned it, but it was fun. I already talked about it, didn't I? I can tell I'm burning up. But Kendra Cunningham was with me again. The blonde girl from, I think her parents are from Dorchester, man. Real Bostonian. And she does well everywhere I bring her. She's a smart joke writer, and she's a little sassy. And they were digging her last night, They were digging her. And like I said, I'd do it again. It's funny, man. I used my Waze app. I think I was bragging about that on one of the previous podcasts. I used it to get out of there, and it took me out a back way and into all this construction on these back streets, though, where there was no traffic, and road every 3 feet there was a road closed sign, but there was enough room for me to go around the road. You know what I'm saying? Usually they put up sawhorses or something so you can't get past, but it just said road closed, but there was plenty of room, so I kept following it and listening to my Waze app, and I ended up in some industrial park in the pitch black with no street lights, and it's raining. It took me about an extra 20 minutes to get home. And then I get to the Henry Hudson Parkway, where the tolls are, and it's backed up for about a mile. Just red tail on a Sunday night. I don't understand where those people are headed. Why are they headed north? I don't get it. Unless they're people that were in the Hamptons and going back to Westchester. I don't know. Good gig, though. I hope it stays alive. A lot of these things just disappear, but good one to have fun at. How about, what else is I... Oh, by the way, I'm at Uncle Vinny's. Uncle Vinny's, not this Saturday night, but the following, which is the 27th. That's in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. And that's a good one. That's always fun to work out new stuff. And then July 18th, Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Holy shit, am I burning up? Mamma mia. How about, here we go. This is we get 2 people attacked by sharks in North Carolina. Yeah, 12-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy received life-threatening injuries after being bitten by sharks in Oak Island on Sunday evening. It's in North Carolina. Believe this shit? The first shark bite was called in at 4:12 in the afternoon. 12-year-old girl is about 20 yards from shore. She was waist deep in water when she got bit. Her left arm was amputated below the elbow. And she also suffered tissue trauma to her left leg. Do not smoke in here. Did you notify the authorities? This was no boating accident. You believe this shit? Yeah, so she loses her left arm below the elbow and damage to her leg. Then the second attack was about an hour and a half later, 5:30. A 16-year-old male from Winston-Salem lost an arm, Jesus Christ, after being bitten by a shark. I'm guessing it was the same one. He was only about 20 yards from the shore, and he was in waist-deep water. God damn. Those guys, you're not going to, mentally, you're going to be a little fucked up after that. I know you had that young chick there, that surfer, who had her arm bitten off, and like a week later she's surfing again. That chick, man, it takes some balls, huh? Christ's sake, when I saw Jaws, I didn't go in the ocean. I don't even like going in the goddamn lake. I always picture a giant snapping turtle taking my fucking foot off. There's one in my pond, by the way. I told you it's about the size. I saw the shell of it a couple of years ago. There were 2 turtles, giant turtles, fucking in my pond. And I'm telling you, the shell on these turtles were almost the size of like a trash can cover, which means the turtle has a neck bigger than mine. You don't see me in that pond, I'll tell you that much. But can you imagine that? Two attacks, and both people. These aren't superficial injuries. They're going to lose limbs. I wonder what they're going to do. I guess they didn't have time to close the beach in between the first and second attack, they said. They couldn't get the message in time. Typical government. Really? You couldn't have somebody go down there and get the fuck out of the water? So, you know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to hire somebody like this.
You all know me. Know how I earn a living. I'll catch this bird for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. Bad fish. Not like going down the pond chasing bluegills or tommycods. This shark, swallow you whole. Shaking, tenderizing, down you go.
I like that he's eating like crackers. Shaking, tenderizing, down you go.
And we gotta do it quick. That'll bring back the tourists. That'll put all your businesses on a paying basis. But it's not going to be pleasant. I value my neck a lot more than $3,000, Chief. I'll find him for 3, but I'll catch him and kill him for 10. And you got to make up your minds. You want to stay alive and ante up? You want to play it cheap? Be on welfare the whole winter. I don't want no volunteers. I don't want no mates. There's too many captains on this island. $10,000 for me by myself. For that you get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quint. We'll take it under advisement.
Oh, I should have played the last line. Chief. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen. That Robert Shaw gives me chills. He was so good. God damn. I saw a clip online about Richard Dreyfuss being interviewed in some British talk, I think it was British talk show. And the guy was asking him, he got to meet Robert Shaw's great-granddaughter, I think, in the green room, and he started crying. And then when he was telling the story on the show, he starts crying again about how much he loved Robert Shaw. He was like breaking up. And then the granddaughter was in the audience, and she's like crying. Very weird. You know, some people get older and they start crying a lot. I noticed that. If I see a good tampon ad, I will tear up. Or a good dog food ad if I'm in the right mood. That's not true. Remember George Steinbrenner? I always think of that. Remember? He was going around in the golf cart, bawling his eyes out. That's probably because he found out he couldn't sign somebody from the A's or something. But that's what happens. You get all mushy and shit. I thought when I was young, old people didn't realize. I thought it was, it's so funny as you get older. But when I was really young, didn't you think old people, like born old, they were always old and they know they're going to die and it didn't bother them? But it's not true. You're well aware of your mortality, and people get depressed about it and shit. That's why I'm going to start doing drugs and having fun. You know what I mean? I'm going to stop mixing cocaine with my Lipitor and my Crestor. And start visiting strip clubs again, I don't think the wife will mind. Huh? Sure, no. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, but all these things, except for the shark attack story, have one thing in common. Fucking dummies who live in a fantasy world. We're all gonna... That's the other thing that makes me nuts. Do you see how they work these phrases into society? All of a sudden you're hearing them every 2 seconds. Income inequality. It's never supposed to be equal. It's just fucking... If you're buying that, you're just a dumb motherfucker. You don't understand the free market in a capitalist society. Some people are going to soar higher than others. Okay? And don't give me this shit. Yeah, but the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Our poorest people in this country have more than any other nation. Poor slobs have 3 fucking DVRs and 2 cars in the yard and a flat screen. Free food from the government and everything else, so I don't want to fucking hear it. I'm supposed to hate Mitt Romney because he studied hard and made something from himself. Fuck you. So tired of this shit. Let's free the fucking Puerto Rican terrorists. Look at her. So, by the way, update on that lady from Fenway. They get bopped over the head with a bat. She's out of the hospital, I guess. They said she's going to be shining shoes at a bowling alley the rest of her life. But, no, I think she's doing good. I was watching, let's stay on the liberal wet dreams, and they live in a world of theory and not reality. I was flipping through the channels, and I came across another pompous ass who I can't stand, Bryant Gumbel, on, Real Sports, that show where they, let's look for racism at the, the hockey puck factory, and they were talking to Ronda Rousey, that, the UFC champion chick, who I like, by the way, and I admire, because she's a badass, no doubt about it, and sexy enough. But once again, got to take it too far. That's why I have my most problem with the feminist movement out of all this shit. I mean, at least, NAACP, civil rights, all that was like, okay. They definitely had their hands tied for a long time and treated horribly in this country, had a lot of grievances that are legit. But then when the feminist movement jumped on the civil rights coattails and tried to portray themselves as, victims, it's just so disingenuous to me. And I'm flipping through, and I stop in Real Sports, and they're talking about UFC and Ronda Rousey, she's everywhere, she's in movies now and stuff, and but they have to go too far. Just like, I guess this is a commercial after. I haven't seen it yet. Somebody asked me about it on Twitter. Where will you be? The commercial asks, where will you be when the first woman throws a pitch in a Major League Baseball game or whatever? And I tweeted, I said I was going to be, 3 inches from my flat screen pointing to the outline of her dick in her pants or something. And boy, didn't that cause a stir. But they take it too far. I mean, yeah, she's a badass and shit. But just listen, they go too far. Here's a clip of the guy.
Sports Illustrated said, pound for pound, you are the best UFC fighter, man or woman.
It makes me feel way better than if someone told me I was pretty. If I was voted...
Man or woman. Gee, if there was only a way we could test that theory out, huh? Boy, if there was only a way that we could get a guy that weighs exactly the same as her and has the same level of experience, that's the key, and have them fight. How can you make that statement with a straight face that pound for pound, male or female, she's the best fighter in the world? You can't. That's total horseshit. Because somebody with the same experience, a guy, would beat her badly. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. And if you don't believe me, go on the internet. I remember this years ago. Oh, man, my chest is like raw. There's a piece of lungi on the microphone. I remember years ago, 1976, I think it was. And I've been telling this story for a few years, but I had the wrong guy. I thought it was Superfoot Wallace. He was like the first kickboxing karate guy back in the 70s, who's a real badass. I thought it was him, but it wasn't. It was a guy named Joe Hess, another badass back then. He fought a woman from Oklahoma. Her last name was like Buzzy. Beth Buzzy or something like that, from Oklahoma. She kept bragging in the papers that she could whip him and knock him out, and he was the male champion, this guy Joe Hess. He might not have even been the champion, but he's one of the top guys. And so on Wild World of Sports, I'll never forget it. I went online. Well, here's the audio of it, but you got to go online and Google Joe Hess versus a woman kickboxer. Here's what happened.
For a moment. This match took place in Madison Square Garden, 1974, and the commentary you hear is by Frank Gifford and Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich? What the fuck? Buddy Rich is a famous... he's dead now, but he's a famous drummer. And cocaine head, a real rock head. There's audio out there. You guys have probably all heard it, of him chewing out his band on the bus when he was all coked up, cursing them out, challenging them to fist fights, and just... You must have heard it. It goes on for a half hour. Just out of his fucking mind. I'm trying to figure out why they would have him sitting alongside Frank Gifford to do this. Anyways, it's an exhibition of the woman kickbox champion fighting Joe Hess, and he's way bigger than her. But here you go.
Oh, and Beth is really overmatched.
She's a very brave young lady. I'll say that much for her.
She is. She's getting away 100 pounds.
Right.
It's not really doing it justice.
Getting ready now.
Just listen.
Best kick to the head. He missed. One to the stomach, right hand.
Was that a deliberate miss, Buddy, on his part?
No. Oh, look at that.
That wasn't.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Oh, she's hurt.
Yeah, she's cold now.
She's cold now.
He caught her with both hands and a kick.
She is really hurt.
And I think that ended the fight. It was a roundhouse kick, but it got her like on the side, like, right where her liver is, and she had like a delayed effect. And then she went down like unconscious from the pain. She went out like a light. And what amazed me when I was watching is she's out like a light, and the guy jump in the ring, the medical, the doctor, whoever, and grabs her like a piece of meat. She could have had a neck injury or something. He could have paralyzed her or killed her. He just sort of like grabs her by her head and rolls her over. She's like fucking unconscious from the pain. But if I remember correctly, that was the final blow. But if I remember correctly, and they don't even show this unless there's a longer version, she came running out right at the beginning. I don't think that was the first round. I thought she got knocked down a couple times, unless I'm thinking of another one. But the point being is, there's differences, okay? And you can't wish them away. You can't, you can't legislate them away, okay? And I got to believe somebody, there's a guy out there, Ronda Rousey size in the UFC, that would fucking do the same thing to her. As bad as she is. And I know there's guys out there who she could beat, but not with the same amount of experience and blah, blah, blah. That's the key. It's not like when Bobby Riggs played Billie Jean King and, Billie Jean's like 75 years younger than Bobby Riggs. It's like, oh, that proved a lot. I mean, there's fights you can look at on the internet where there are UFC women beating up guys, but it's guys who aren't even close to it, as experienced. So stop with your fantasies, okay? Just like you're not going to see a woman pitcher in baseball for another 100 years. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably never, ever, okay? There's physical differences that you can't wish away or legislate away. Stop with your fucking wet dreams. Yeah, that was Joe Hess. Big guy, mustached. Then he's like hugging her after, and the crowd's booing him because he knocked the shit out of her. What was he supposed to do? I guess stand there and take it in the face like Bobby Riggs. But they always go too far. Male or female. No, she's the best fighter in the world, pound for pound, as far as the females go. God damn. Yeah, I did Greg Gutfeld's show, his new show, and it's in the infancy stages, It'll work its way out. I've talked about this before, though. You're not going to be able to do a comedy show on a news channel. You know what I mean? There's a reason The Daily Show is done on Comedy Central, because you can get away with a lot more. You can't. Fox News is it's a brand. It's like the most powerful name in news. You're not going to be able to say anything off color. You know what I mean? Not on Fox News Channel, you're not. So that, and like I said, the comedy world people have been just conditioned they've been getting comedy from a liberal side for the last 60, since the first episode of SNL. And because political correctness is the status quo, if you're doing anything that goes against that, people, like I said, people who like my comedy, they're afraid to laugh at some stuff because they're going to be stigmatized as racist or sexist or whatever. So I don't think you're ever going to see it in our lifetime. That doesn't mean you can't try, but I'm just saying, if you really want to mix it up, Tough Crowd was the show where both sides got their licks in, you know what I mean? But I hope, I wish Gutfeld well, He did a great job with Red Eye. I didn't think that. The first time I saw that, I'm like, this is going to go away like a rash. But, you got to give him his props. He's a smart guy. We talked about Seinfeld and, the college campus thing. And my only point that I came up with, I was sitting in the green room, I was thinking about Seinfeld, who's liberal in his politics. It's no secret. But I said to Greg on the show, you got to give him credit when Michael Richards had that meltdown, which was inexcusable on what he did on stage. But when he had that meltdown, Jerry didn't, disassociate himself from him. He went on Letterman with Michael Richards and said, this is my friend, and that's not how he really is. So I give Seinfeld props for that, But I also said, stop voting Democrat if you don't like political correctness. And that one's always lost on everybody. And when I said that on the show, I said political correctness has one sole purpose, to shut down the speech of white heterosexual Christian males. That's how it came about. And Greg goes to me, oh, poor white guy, he can't speak his mind. But what he was doing, he was mocking. That's the knee-jerk reaction you'll get when you're having a discussion with liberals about this shit, like I did with Larry Wilmore. Oh, yeah, poor white guy can't speak his mind. They always come back with that knee-jerk reaction, totally ignoring the point I just made, being that a black comic is less likely to get in trouble for making fun of white people. A gay comic can say anything about straight people. A woman comic can say anything about a guy. It's really about shutting guys like me down. I mean, but now it's starting to spread. It's getting too stifling, which is good. When you see guys like Jerry, who, like I said, is liberal in his politics, when it's starting to bug him, and it's good when a guy that high profile complains about it, because then the story takes on more of a life of its own, and it gets more. It's to a point. It's crazy. I did at Clark University there in the early '90s, which is a liberal school in Massachusetts, and it's the only set that I didn't finish. I got off about 8 minutes early. They were so uptight and hissing and moaning and everything. That was my first real, coming face to face with that type of fucking leftist fascist horse shit. But I bailed like 8 minutes early. I did some joke about a Middle Eastern guy not being able to find my dipstick under my hood, and then some guy in the front row, a girl, I can't remember, goes, "What are you going to talk about next? Abortion or whatever?" So I did about 6 minutes of abortion off the top of my head. They were actually booing, and I got off early. But that was early '90s, like real early '90s. So I mean, it's only got worse since. So, but I like it. It's they're starting to eat each other. When Chris Rock and Jerry, when they're complaining about it, it's like, okay. But it's not just colleges either. I mean, it spreads to comedy club audiences because most of those audiences are college-age kids, at least in New York City, And it really takes the fun out of it. It's unbelievable. You read the arrogance, though, of these college students. We don't need anybody who's just going to be provocative or crass for the sake of being crass. Who are you to decide what's provocative? Go run to your safe zone, pussy. Can you fucking imagine? Anyways. Well, I got to wrap it up, as you can tell. Starting to sound like Jack Klugman in the last few years. It was like, Felix, did I covered about everything I wanted to. Go to nickdip.com. Get another senseless killing. Let's get it back up there on the charts. It's in and out, but I want it to stay up there. People are loving it. People that get it really like it. So I'm not far from putting another hour together, maybe. I would say by early winter. Maybe shoot another one, hopefully. I'm working on it. Come see me at Uncle Vinny's the 27th down on Point Pleasant, and the Ridgefield Playhouse July 18th. And in between all that, I'm usually in the city. I haven't been to the Comedy Cell in a while. I put in there, though, so I'll probably be there next week. And the Stand, obviously. It's my other hangout. That is about it, kids. Can't think of anything else. Good day, everybody.